I'm Graham Thomason, and this is my story. Well, I started playing violin around 6th grade in elementary school, and I actually went to Central Middle School, and there's a class for orchestra there, just like there is here. So I liked the music that I heard being played by the Philharmonic Orchestra in Columbus, and so I decided to join the orchestra at Central as well. And then so it was kind of just a no-brainer to come to the orchestra at North. The first instrument I played was piano, and I began playing that about age 6 or in 1st grade. And so I guess that means I've been playing it for, I have to do math, I guess 10 years or 11 years. So I play violin, and I'm in the section called the first violin section, so we play the upper melodies and we usually play the melodies, whereas second violins play lower and they play harmony. And then there are also the violas, cellos, and basses. So I guess this is my 6th year in a school orchestra, and it's my 4th year in the Columbus North Orchestra. So I've played at, well, there are 2 concerts every year for orchestra, and concerts usually last about 20 minutes for our performance, and then we also hear the bands at North play. So the concerts in total, since they're for all the instrumental groups, are about 2 hours. I actually never practiced violin, which you probably don't want to hear, but all the people in the orchestra already know that anyway. But I do practice piano. It's my favorite thing to play, and I kind of have more a connection with it than I do with violin.
I decided to become an undercover detective because I had studied criminal justice at Indiana University, and I ultimately wanted to be an FBI agent, and I knew I had to have 4 years of law enforcement background, and I worked for Pinkerton Detectives. For the biggest undercover assignment I had, I was undercover for about 3 to 4 months at a pillow factory in Chicago. I went undercover because I was there to make sure that the environment was safe in the factory, and they thought that there was some drug dealing going on, and so that's the reason I was there, to check out to see if that was going on. While I was undercover, I made pillows, and I made the little sheets that you sew up to stuff the pillows with feathers. That was my majority of my job. Of course, during breaks and during times that I could get out and about, I started to befriend others so that I could see what was going on. Sometimes I wish I had stayed in it and lasted the 4 years. But after I became an undercover detective, I also became a probation officer for Chicago, and after living that for a couple of years, I worked nights on the streets. I decided that probably wasn't the best job for me to do, and that is why I changed. But it was exciting. Every night was different, and it was always exciting. I became a Spanish teacher, I don't know, about 8 or 9 years ago, when I was asked to come and help the school, and I fell in love with the kids, and so I just got my teaching license, and that's why I became one. Something different to do. No, I don't look at my students as people that I was looking at when I was undercover. That they don't even come close to the people I was dealing with. I could go back to becoming a detective, I guess a private detective if I wanted to be, but I could not go back into law enforcement because I'm too old. I plan on staying to be a Spanish teacher until I feel I'm no longer effective or I can't relate with the kids, because then I feel that there's probably someone better that could do the job better than me. My favorite things of being an undercover detective were that I was constantly changing. Every day was changing. I did all kinds of cases where I had to go, like be an actress. I had to be somebody that I truly wasn't. I had to lie a lot, and that was kind of fun at times. And I liked being able to catch the people that were not doing what they should have been doing. I enjoyed that part. The part I like about being a teacher the most are the kids, because they make, I don't know, they're great. All the kids here are great, and I learned so much from them. It's two totally different jobs. There was a lot of looking at bad things in law enforcement, while here it's all good.
I'm Julia Vanderkolk, and for my senior project, I will be making an inventory of the costume shop at Dancer Studio Inc. I got the idea for this project because I've danced at Dancer Studio for most of my life, and I really just wanted to do something for my senior project that would benefit them, so I asked what the need was, and Susanna Lipinski, who's the costume mistress, told me that this was something that she needed someone to do, so I volunteered. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going through all these boxes. There are at least 100 boxes lining the walls in the costume room, and I'm writing down everything that's in them, organized by what they are, what size they are, what color they are, all the descriptions, and then making an inventory, like a spreadsheet of them, so that at the end they can have a physical copy of it, and then potentially like print them off in stickers so that you can stick on every box what is in it. Something that's been fun doing this project is that since I've danced here so long, I've worn a lot of the costumes that we have. So I've been going through finding things that have people's names written on them. I found a pair of tights that I wore when I was like 7 years old, and they were itty bitty. And so it's fun to think of the memories that go with the costumes that I'm finding. One thing about the project is that I'm just kind of secluded by myself in the back costume room, so it's a little like quiet and boring sometimes because it's just over and over the same thing. So what I've been doing is having some other dancers come back and just hang out with me and help me if they can, or putting on music or doing something to make it a little more exciting. My goal is just to have an inventory that is easy to read so that it's easier to find things, because right now it's pretty difficult just to go through and find what you're looking for as far as costumes. So my goal is just to make it easier and more organized and efficient for the costume mistresses to find what they need.
At the Miller Marathon, I participated in the 5K.
I ran the 5K with my family. We all decided to do the 5K together, even though my mom and I probably could have done the half. My 8th grade year with Northside, we did it as a team, and I don't know, I had a lot of fun doing it, so I just thought this year that it would just be fun to do it again.
I have done it almost every year except for last year. Fun fact, I didn't actually prepare. My sister was supposed to run the week, like prior to the week, we thought she was gonna run, and then she decided she had to work, so I didn't prepare at all, and my bib was with her name on it.
I didn't do as much preparation as I should have done, but I think I ran maybe like 3 times before, which isn't a lot. So my mom wanted me to run like with my brother, but like halfway, like a fourth into the race, my brother was like going like super slow. So I was like, come on, Will, you need to hurry up.
I did pretty bad because I have had an injury. I strained my adductor muscle, so I didn't do so well because I hadn't really trained or anything, but I've done a lot better before.
I don't know, I feel pretty happy knowing that I didn't really prepare myself as I should have. And I don't know, I just had a lot of fun, and it's fun to especially do it when like your family's doing it with you. It's just fun to get out there and just like try something new.
After the race, I felt pretty good knowing that I had actually done something worthwhile with my Saturday. For other runners, I would definitely say to train. 5K isn't too bad, but if you're running the marathon or even the half marathon, you definitely need to train.
Keep pushing through the race and just know that preparation is always key. So if you do prepare yourself, unlike I did, you can really have a stronger race. And if you control your breathing, then you'll avoid cramps, which will kind of help you in the long run.